name is Chana Ross. I work at Booking.com and I'm a machine learning manager for the Gen AI teams, application and core infrastructure. So we have a few in production today. We have the AI trip planner, which is a chatbot that helps users plan their trip. And within that, we use agents for different types of questions. It can be property related questions, it can be recommendations, it can be itineraries. We also have them in free text filters. So if you want to search for a specific filter, you can search for it textually, and then we are able to extract the right filter for you. And also recently we've launched free text search, where you're able to search freely and get the query that you wanted given to you in a structured manner back to our regular search results page. So those are the main use cases. We do have a few other ones, but I think those are the most interesting ones. I think the most interesting one is how impactful the tool descriptions are and the way you use tools. So I think for most of us, like tools are like, oh, okay, these are going to help us out. These are going to be good. We're going to hallucinate less. It took a while for us to realize how to make tools really be effective and not just raise the latency, maybe sometimes even expose internal information. So we did a lot of work on evaluating and understanding how tools should work, how to build them, and how to maintain them well. So I think by us, we have a lot of product managers, also UX writers. So people that know what the user experience needs to be, and the prompt really impacts that. We've done a few things to mitigate that. The first thing is that we've enabled them through a UI studio to write their own prompts, test them on the real use cases, test them on the production code base. So a manager by us can come, choose one of the prompts out of the stack that we run in reality, change it, change the model, change the behavior, and see how it behaves on real traffic and also on new traffic if it wants to try a new chat and see what's going to happen now. We also give them an evaluation suite. So once they chose their prompt, they're able to run in evaluations, which are judge LLMs on the traffic that they have and see the difference between the version that they have in production and the version they're building. So that's kind of a way to mitigate the fact that they don't fully understand at times the impact of the change that they're making. So I think those are the main ways that we've given them kind of freedom without totally unlocking ML. So I think evals have become very important in LLMs specifically because LLMs can really drift over time, whether it's the fact that you're using some third party and you don't actually control the model under the hood, or the traffic is changing. So people are becoming more familiar with how to ask questions, how to be interacting with LLMs or with Gen AI. And on top of that, like you mentioned earlier, we have non-ML practitioners developing these agents on their own. So they really need these evals to kind of ground them and give them the strength and the kind of confidence that what they're building will work. So we've created like generic evals per the task someone's trying to solve. So if you're solving a question and answering problem, we'll provide you with a hallucination eval, checking the factual accuracy, and a relevancy, seeing that your answer is relevant, and clarity and readability of your response. So we have all these evaluations that we provide to all of our product managers, UX writers, and backend developers, and we also use them in real time in production on a percentage of data that's running every day. So we have daily workflows running evals and putting them back in Rise to then be able to monitor them and understand if the behavior is changing over time. So I'd say they fit in for us in every stage of the process. That's something that we did from the beginning. So that was one of the things we believe to be our added value compared to ChatGPT native or any other model. What we did is that we combine them also with tools. So we have a lot of tools that are actually representing our internal services, and we give the LLM the ability to dynamically impact them. But we also give them as context sometimes deterministically. So if we know we have a RAG tool and the information coming from it will be useful to the LLM, we don't necessarily provide it inside the LLM, but rather beforehand, because we know that the LLM is going to need that information. Other ways that we've done it is through extraction processes. So extracting key information that we need and then building the API response that we want to use and the query in our own manner. That's a more kind of complex system or something that we want to define on ourselves. if I was building it within our infrastructure that we have today, I would start simple. A lot of times we tell this to teams as well. Start from the prompt, see that you understand what you're trying to solve, build something that solves a specific problem and see that it actually works, that the hypothesis is accurate, that an LLM can actually perform the task or that it's not an overkill. And then I would see what pieces of the puzzle are missing in order to bring it to production. So, what edge cases don't you capture? What tools do you need to add to hallucinate this? Which evaluations aren't succeeding that you need to improve on? So we try to start small and then expand as needed. And I also always tell people to start from simple agents and then go more complicated. So simple, then function calling, and React and reflection, then some more complicated strategy. But sometimes starting from React just complicates it and you don't really understand what you're missing in the system. So we work with Arize in two manners. We have the kind of we call it like production monitoring. Every request that we send to some agent system, like the one we're developing, goes automatically to Arise with the full flow. So if we had 5 agents in the system and each agent called a number of tools, then we log that full interaction. And then we use that for monitoring and metrics to see that the agents were called correctly, they were using the right configuration, they were using the right model, the right tools, and so on. We also then have dashboards on top of that to make sure that we have the right number of tool calls, that we don't have any errors in the system. And finally, we use the data that goes to Arise also in our internal systems and workflows for the judge evaluations running in production. And then we bring those evals back to Arise afterwards and have dashboards on that to make sure that evaluation stays or goes better, hopefully, over time. So I think those are the main usages that we have today.